doing this. No swearing. There's no swearing in this episode. Swearing in every other episode on my channel, though. So check those out. We are going with a classic with my man, Nick Cage.
If you have a Charlie Brown, it says Merry Christmas across the top. It's like a dance scene puzzle, but with thick pieces, like good quality pieces. And you want to get rid of it, send it to me. I want that thing.
My name is Joe. These are just opinions. I am Joepinionated. Today, on a special episode of Rad Flix, we're going through the Christmas movie marathon for 2023. Christmas movie marathon, one movie every single night. And the day after American Thanksgiving, and that's what we call it up in Canada. This year on the 24th of November, all the way to Christmas Eve. I get it. You're going to have excuses. And the only good excuse to me is if you're somewhere outside, laughing, having a good time with friends and family. If you miss a night, that's okay. You just double up the next night. This is for hardcores only. Either you're a Christmas person or you're not. The Christmas Movie Marathon, brought to you by Rad Flix on this channel, Joepinionated. Every day on the calendar from now till Christmas, you're gonna have something great to watch. I fucking love Christmas. In this episode, I'm not gonna swear, because it's Christmas. There's a lot of great Christmas movies that are not family friendly, and what I've found is that there's really nothing out there to find a list that's family friendly or a list that isn't. I'm going to try to mention that throughout this list as well. Have a sense of humor. This is just my Christmas movie list. Now, I don't know about you, but I grew up loving Christmas. Happy all the holidays. Honorable mention, 8 Crazy Nights. You heard the rules. If you miss a night, you watch it again. You watch 2 the next night. Okay, November 24th. You've already watched your Thanksgiving movie. You're free to watch Christmas movies after Black Friday. You know, loosely. This is for the hardcores. I understand it might be December 1st. It might be a week before Christmas. It might be Christmas Day. Respect to whatever system you got going on. This is for the hardcores. Okay, here we go. Black Friday, USA Black Friday, November 24th, 2023. We're kicking it off this year strong. This one over my shoulder. Miracle on 34th Street. The 1994 version, keeping things colorful. John Hughes was involved with the production. And that's all you gotta say. Up next, November 25th, 1 month till Christmas. This one you get an option. The movie we're watching is The Ref, starring Dennis Leary, Kevin Spacey. I just love Dennis Leary back at this point. The family-friendly option is starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad. We're going with Jingle All the Way. That's when we're looking for that toy. Turbo Man. November 26th, we're watching, we got some options here. From 1983, the backup, and it's the rated R one. We're going with Trading Places. Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd, Jamie Lee Curtis. It's a 80s raunchy comedy, and it's rated R. The family movie night for if you're going to be watching them in November on the 26th, we're going with Little Drummer Boy. It's one of those 3 movies, the stop motion. I always think of Rudolph, Little Drummer Boy, and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Next up, November 27th, Jimi Hendrix's birthday. This one based on a John Grisham book. It's Christmas with the Kranks. There's a lot of movies kind of similar to this. I always think of Deck the Halls with Danny DeVito and Matthew Broderick. I love Jamie Lee Curtis. You know, I grew up in the 90s and I was definitely watching Home Improvement, Tim Allen. Okay, next up on Rad Flix, we're going with a movie that Chris Columbus wrote, sold it to Steven Spielberg. Going with this bad boy, Gremlins from 1984. Poor Danny DeVito, he's in the backup role again because Gremlins isn't for everybody. And I guess the backup for this on this night isn't exactly for everybody either, but it's Tim Burton's classic, Batman Returns. And I do say classic because I enjoy it more than the original Batman, Tim Burton's original Batman. So this is a questionable Christmas movie. It's a Christmas movie. Thanks to my boy for pointing it out to me. Okay, on November 29th, we're watching another Christmas classic from 1970. And it's Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Santa Claus is Coming to Town is your movie for that night. Last movie in November 30th. We're going with your dirty movie option. Bad Santa. Watch them on VHS. It's the same story. And it's probably the cheapest way you're going to find everything. These Christmas movies they're abundant. Way rated R, and I suggest you watch Badder Santa, the unrated cut. I actually don't even really like the other cuts. For this one, it's the unrated Badder Santa. It's got a red cover. The backup for this movie, the family pick is A Christmas Story Christmas. So this is the sequel that just came out in 2022. I thought it was a great sequel. What do you think? Put it in the comments below. Remember to check out my channel, like and subscribe. I'm swearing every other episode, not this one, it's Christmas movie marathon. Let's go. Let's go. Should have watched that thing out first. All right, this is a fun time of the show where we talk about what's behind me. We got Buddy the Elf, Clark W. Griswold, Cousin Eddie, Santa from the Santa Claus, Marv, and Harry, and Kevin McAllister from Home Alone, John McClane from Die Hard, The Grinch, and then some characters from Mickey's Christmas Carol, Rad Flix Christmas Movie Marathon, hosted by yours truly, Joepinionated. Now we're in December. I was rocking the Kevin McAllister Dixon flannel. Now I've got on the Clark Griswold Dixon flannel. December 1st, we're rocking this one over my shoulder. It's the new Grinch from 2018. It's special to me. It's one of the first movies I took one of my kids to. And the soundtrack's actually pretty cool too. It's got a bunch of different collaborations, a ton of creators on there. It's a new take on an old classic, and I don't mind when they do that, as long as they don't screw it up, and I don't think they did. December 2nd are for sequels, and this is one of the greatest sequels in any Christmas franchise. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Gotta watch Home Alone 2 on the 2nd. This one goes out to Mikey. John Hughes named tied to a movie. I'm a fan. Chris Columbus came back to direct it. I've done lists for Chris Columbus and John Hughes, both on this channel. Like and subscribe. Check out the other videos on this channel. They're all just fantastic. This is the 2023 Rad Flix Christmas Movie Marathon. December 3rd, I might not be the most popular person with this pick, this low down the list. Oh well, it's in the marathon. You're watching it. Doesn't have to be that close to Christmas. On December the 3rd, we're watching The Santa Claus from 1994, starring Tim Allen. Classic from the 90s. I remember it being a very big deal when it came out. The story is actually pretty well put together. It hasn't been done before. It was a great idea. December 4th, and for you families, there's some honorable mentions that you'll be able to replace this movie with, because it is not a family movie. This is a rated R comedy. December 4th, though, for us adults without kids in the room, we're going to be watching A Very Harold and Kumar Christmas from 2011. I remember watching it on an iPad on my way back from camp up in northern Alberta. It's a pot comedy. I actually like all their movies. I think they're all hilarious. On December the 5th, same thing again. You've rated R, maybe the funniest TV show of all time. And these Christmas specials are absolute gold. Matt Stone, Trey Parker, Southpark, any Southpark special really, but the best, Hanky the Christmas Boo. Mr. Hanky the Christmas Boo from Southpark, and it's a tradition. It's a tradition around my house. I love these Southpark specials. I like them all though. I try to watch them all. So Simpsons is your safe backup for this night. Simpsons is on Disney Plus now, so you can watch all those episodes. Next up, it's usually the first movie or first Christmas anything that I watch every year. This year is no different, but I want to make sure that you get a chance to watch it this year. Rest in peace, Pee Wee Herman, legend, my favorite. He definitely appears very high up on my Tim Burton list on this channel, Joepinionated, respect, Paul Rubens. Pee Wee's Playhouse, the Christmas special. Believe it's called Christmas at Pee Wee's Playhouse. I remember the VHS tapes used to cost a fortune, and I'm not sure if it was PBS that you'd buy them on, but you buy them off of TV, really high quality television. The trailers for all these shows are in the comments below. There's a link to the playlist. Also suggest YouTube Premium. I like it more than all of the other streaming services because it basically have access to every song you can think of, every TV show you've ever seen, or previews for any movie that's ever been made. And then you don't get commercials, and you can watch these episodes without clicking skip it and forget about this poll. This one's rated R. This one comes from Canada, from the east coast of Canada. Maybe the funniest TV show ever made. It's up there with South Park, I'm serious. It's the Trailer Park Boys Christmas special. Nothing better than Ricky, Julian, and Bubbles. These characters are so great. Every season, every episode. I don't think it gets funnier. I really don't. I think it's up there with South Park and Monty Python and Curb Your Enthusiasm and Arrested Development. Trailer Park Boys is extremely funny and only gets funnier the more you watch it. This one tugs on the heartstrings for sure. Canadian boys, apparently just like really good dudes too. Rest in peace, Jim Leahy. For our Christmas movie marathon continues on the 8th. 8-Bit Christmas. 8-Bit Christmas came out just 2 years ago, 2021. I love this movie because I grew up right around the time that they're talking about, and it's about this kid on the block that has a Nintendo NES, and he has a power glove. Kids, go over to his house to play his video games. I grew up in that era where there's just, some kid got the Sega CD or some kid got the TurboGrafx 16 or whatever the next system was. Sometimes nobody got that. It was just a one person that had that system. The slang throughout the movie really takes me back. They knocked it out of the park. It's great for people in their 40s. December the 8th, we're watching 8-Bit Christmas. December the 9th, we're coming in with a not so family friendly movie. So a family friendly option would be Animaniacs, Wacko's Wish. Once again, I grew up with that. It's a great option. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Highly recommend it. Great show, start to finish. It's a musical too. Another thing Steven Spielberg's behind. It's great. But my pick is The Night Before. Seth Rogen's hilarious movie. This one's very rated R. Very raunchy, dirty, drug humor. Instant classic. Box of drugs. It's nuts. It's pretty funny. Here we are, December 10th. We're getting really close now. Kids are getting excited. Rad Flix Christmas Movie Marathon 2023, December 10th. Here we go with Charles Dickens' classic, another take on A Christmas Carol from 1988, Bill Murray's version, Scrooged. I also want to mention too that one thing I love, Charles Dickens, A Christmas Carol, is responsible for a lot of our Christmas traditions. And I'll put a link in the description for both of these shows. And I'll put them in the playlist of all the trailers as well. But I love to watch The History of Christmas on the History Channel. And then my buddy is also a Christmas nut, Mikey, sent me Christmas with something Steve's or something like that. It's Jeeves, I forget, but it's a European Christmas. Anyways, I'll put a link in the description. All it is breaks down the history of Christmas, like from Yule through Saturnalia and all that sort of stuff, just a full history of Christmas and when each tradition kind of came into play. And I love watching that. That stuff's fascinating to me. Scrooge, hilarious. I've got the soundtrack over the head here. Great soundtrack too. Robbie Robertson's Christmas Must Be Tonight is on there, which I love. Way to go, Bill Murray. You knocked it out of the park as per usual. December 11th, Rad Flix Christmas Movie Marathon. We're going with one that might not be on your list. It's basically a remake of It's a Wonderful Life. It's from the year 2000 with my man, Nick Cage. Going with this one, The Family Man. I think it's a good Christmas movie. I don't know. Check the ratings on all these things. Don't take my word for it. Whether or not they're good for your kids or whatever, that's up to you. All right, here's another possibly unpopular one. December 12th in the Rad Flix Christmas Movie Marathon. This one is rad. This one definitely stands the test of time, so it's considered a rad flick. 1988's Ernest Saves Christmas. Great Christmas movie. Tugs at the old heartstrings. Santa gets locked up. Ernest has to save Christmas. I remember Ernest goes to camp, and I was a little kid, and I thought it was amazing. So don't take it away from me. It's got a different angle on Christmas, Santa, and how that stuff goes. It's got heart. December the 13th from 1964, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I'll be honest with you, when I was a kid, I was like, that's just dated. I'm not really into that. That's what I thought of it back then. I never really understood the appeal until I was an adult, until I had my own kids. And then I watched it and I was like, shoot, I kind of missed out on that. December 14th, Rad Flix Christmas Movie Marathon takes you back to 2004. Directed by one of my favorite directors ever, Robert Zemeckis. Man, he made Flight, he made Forrest Gump, he made the Back to the Future trilogy. Check out my list for Robert Zemeckis movies on this channel. Made this one in 2004. It's The Polar Express. I didn't get into this one until later, until I had kids. December 14th, we're all watching it. Tom Hanks. The special effects at the time were groundbreaking. Now they seem a little bit dated. Same with a lot of movies on this list. The Polar Express. For December 15th, now we're getting into some real heavy hitters. We are watching A Charlie Brown Christmas. I had this puzzle. It was so sweet, really thick pieces, and my son spilt milk all over it, destroyed it.
If you have a Charlie Brown, it says Merry Christmas across the top. It's like a dance scene puzzle, but with thick pieces, like good quality pieces, and you want to get rid of it, send it to me. I want that thing.
Great show at Christmas time. It's not very long either, so if you want to group it in with another one because you had a party or you got outside with some friends, which you're allowed to miss a movie in the Rad Flix Christmas Movie Marathon. Makeup night. This is a good one to throw on makeup night because it's shorter. Here's another short one on December the 16th from 1983. It's Mickey's Christmas Carol. And so I've got these figurines all over the place, and the movie and all sorts of stuff. I loved Mickey's Christmas Carol growing up. It's one of my favorites. We're watching on December the 16th. December 17th, a movie that really restored my faith in Christmas movies in 2003, Will Ferrell. This movie is hilarious, start to finish. Calls on old Christmas tradition, Christmas movie traditions. James Caan's great. Everybody's great in this movie. Will Ferrell is excellent. This script is hilarious. Movies That Made Us on Netflix is there's a great making of Elf. But I remember going to see it in the theater back in, I guess in 2003, and just being like, wow, that's a great movie. Next year, I had the poster on my wall. It was an instant Christmas decoration. December 18th, a week till Christmas. This one goes out to my daughter, and it's one of her new favorite movies for Christmas time. And she's in the play this year, so I'm really looking forward to that. It's 1992. It's dedicated to Jim Henson. It's The Muppets Christmas Carol. One of the best adaptations of Christmas Carol. Michael Caine's excellent as Scrooge. Brilliance of Jim Henson production. I can't wait to watch it on a Rad Flix Christmas movie marathon with you on December the 18th. December the 19th, Rad Flix Christmas movie marathon. We're watching this one, Jim Carrey's The Grinch. This is on my Jim Carrey's greatest movies list, greatest performance list. It's on this channel. It was actually the first DVD I ever bought. I mentioned that in the Jim Carrey list. I wasn't crazy about it. I didn't really like it for the first few years, but that movie has grown on me over time. There's magic to it. On December the 20th, Rad Flix Christmas Movie Marathon 2023, a rated R movie. Now, there's an alternate, and the alternate is How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the original. This guy. Now, for some people, this is just a must. And it was another one that came on Christmas Eve or this one's on every single year. Why? Because it's awesome. And this is my old copy right here. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the original cartoon. I love it. It's the alternate, though, for this night. And this one goes out to the I Am Joepinionated, my boy. This guy up top, John McClane, Die Hard, Christmas movie. We're watching it on December the 20th. Why? I figured it out. Not only is it a Christmas movie, it's just a really awesome movie. And we'll make any excuse to watch it. That's the reason. Bruce Willis, respect. I know he's going through some stuff right now, and mad love for Bruce Willis. I love all the Die Hard movies. First one is the best. The second one I've probably watched the most, and the third one is awesome too. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. We're watching it on December 20th on the Rad Flix Christmas Movie Marathon. December 21st, Christmas Movie Marathon, one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time, comes from 1983, based on a hilarious book. The movie is A Christmas Story, featuring the Red Ryder BB gun, licking a pole. Fragile, that must be Italian. Fell in love with this one from high school. Some friends showed it to me, and I absolutely love it. The older I get, the more I get this movie too. It's such a great story about Ralphie, this boy that wants a Red Ryder BB gun, and his thoughts and the way that he sees the world, and it's kind of like a dream state, but it's the way that you look back on your memories of the way you thought when you were a child, if that makes any sense. Could easily be number one on your list, and I know quite a few people this is. December 22nd is traditional movie night on the Rad Flix Christmas Movie Marathon. So this one, you got your choice of 3 classics. You can either go with a traditional version of the Christmas Carol, and I mean traditional, I mean 1990 and older. So there's the 80s one with George C. Scott. There's the 50s one. There's the 30s one. I prefer the 50s one myself, and they all have different elements to them that it's just such a great story. Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol is an incredible story. Or you can pick White Christmas, Bing Crosby's classic. Over my shoulder here, Bing Crosby, which I only watched last year, so thanks to you, Caitlin, for finally getting me to watch it, and it's great. Or this one, from 1946, Frank Capra's It's a Wonderful Life, starring Jimmy Stewart. I've watched this movie quite a few times. One of my absolute favorite movies, period, of all time. I love watching the color version of it these days because I only watched it for the first time a few years back. I try to get the kids to watch it with me every year. So far, I'm batting 0. One of my favorite movies, Jimmy Stewart's incredible. I always hope that Jim Carrey, because I know he's such a big Jimmy Stewart fan, would remake this movie. December 22nd, we're watching It's a Wonderful Life or White Christmas or your favorite version of A Christmas Carol that hasn't been mentioned already. December the 23rd, we're getting really close. This used to be the day when me and my bro a couple doors down would watch Christmas movies all day long. I can't think of a movie that I've watched more than it. It's either this one or Shawshank Redemption. Produced by John Hughes again. Go to 1989's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, starring Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo. One of the funniest movies ever made. This one is also on my John Hughes list on this channel. It's so good, though, that most people that I know that don't like swearing can look past it. It's just hilarious. Chevy Chase in his prime. This movie, I was wearing earlier the Griswold Dixon flannel. Now I'm wearing the Home Alone McAllister here. This movie had me on a ladder with a staple gun as a kid, putting up our Christmas lights, going onto the roof. Me and Tris starting a fire on the roof one time, even electrical fires from staple guns, trying to be Clark Griswold. And I talked earlier about the history of Christmas. There's a link for it in the description and in the playlist below. It's free on YouTube. It's an old history channel, History of Christmas, and they talk about these traditions and how young they are. Well, for me, a lot of my traditions come from Christmas Vacation. Got the house right here behind me. I had taped it. So kids, what we used to do is have to tape shows that were on TV with our VHS. And I taped this movie one year. The next year I watched it over 20 times. And my parents actually gave it to me that year for Christmas as a Christmas present. So I'd pretty much worn out the taped copy. December 23rd, the Rad Flix Christmas Movie Marathon. We're watching National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Some honorable mentions. The Family Stone, Love Actually, A Very Merry Christmas, Spirited, which I haven't actually seen yet, so maybe that makes the list next year. We'll see. We'll see you in 2024. Tokyo Godfathers, Arthur Christmas, Frosty the Snowman, the cartoon, kind of boring. Prancer, kind of boring. Jack Frost, I'll Be Home for Christmas, that was one with Jonathan Taylor Thomas, JTT. Surviving Christmas. Eyes Wide Shut by my favorite director, Stanley Kubrick. His list is on this channel. Check it out. Greatest Stanley Kubrick movies. Lethal Weapon. And Edward Scissorhands. Not really a Christmas movie. It's a November movie. I mentioned that too. Deck the Halls. Mixed Nuts. The Nightmare Before Christmas. Sorry, didn't make my list for greatest Christmas movies. I still think it's a November movie as well. Tim Burton movies are November movies. On December 24th, for the Rad Flix Christmas Movie Marathon, brought to you today by Joepinionated. Sorry I'm a little low on facts and high on opinions. I'm bringing you, it's not a surprise, going Home Alone. From 1990, Home Alone is the movie we're watching this year on Christmas Eve for the Rad Flix Christmas Movie Marathon. What else do you need to say? This is a John Hughes movie directed by Chris Columbus, who also wrote The Goonies, who also wrote Gremlins. John Hughes, I don't know, he wrote a couple good ones too. I hope you're watching it on American Thanksgiving by Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. He also wrote this one. He also wrote Christmas Vacation, or #2 movie. Great soundtrack, cool house, great shirt. When I was a kid, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation was my favorite Christmas movie, and It's a Wonderful Life was a close second. The older I've got, there's no question. Home Alone is my favorite Christmas movie. That's what we're watching on December 24th this year. Christmas Day, eat, drink, be merry, be with your family, enjoy Christmas, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to all you guys. Live and let live. We're just talking movies here. Let me know what we should put on the Christmas Movie Marathon for 2024. Remember to check out my channel. Lots of other videos. Rad Flix. Desert Island Deathmatch has been a really good one. Featured some bands like Pink Floyd and the Black Crowes and Pearl Jam and Radiohead. All my movie lists, they're all on this channel. Sorry if I swore a little bit on this. I'll try to edit those out because it's Christmas. There's no swearing at Christmas. These are the best Christmas movies. There were some other ones that people mentioned to me. Maybe I just wasn't familiar with them. I'm open. I like to watch new Christmas movies. I'm definitely going to be watching Spirited this year. And like I said, last year was the first time I watched White Christmas, and it was great. I'm sorry I'm a little low on facts and high on opinions. Merry Christmas. Let me know how it goes for you. The Christmas Movie Marathon from Rad Flix. Keep your eyes peeled for Rad Flix upcoming greatest movies from the years 1980 to 1995 in their genres. Most watched, family movie night, sci-fi, action, thriller, horror, drama, all voted on by normal people for once, and we're going to fix it. We're awarding the raddest movies of all time that have stood the test of time, not just that after they awarded that year that didn't stand the test of time. Live and let live. I hope you enjoy the December, the solstice, whatever it is you're doing. Take care. I want to do a shout out to our extended family down in South Carolina. We're thinking of you right now.
With the tips of our fingers, but it gets colder, we can go back into something. I got my love to keep me warm on CD in a box in the hold.